My friends, we often speak of violence as something loud. We imagine broken windows, raised fists, burning streets. But I come before you tonight to say that is a violence far more dangerous because it wears a suit, because it speaks politely, because it moves slowly. And that violence is economic injustice. I have walked through the streets of Birmingham, and I have seen men who worked from sunrise to sunset and still could not afford dignity. I have stood with sanitation workers in Memphis, men who collected society's refuse, yet were treated as disposable themselves. They were not beaten by batons. They were beaten by wages that could not feed a family. They were not jailed by law. They were imprisoned by debt, by hunger, by fear. And I tell you tonight, poverty is violence stretched over time. It steals without breaking in. It wounds without leaving bruises. It kills without ever firing a gun. Some ask me, why do you speak of economics when we are still fighting for civil rights? And I answer plainly, what good is the right to sit at a lunch counter if you cannot afford the meal? What good is the right to vote if your vote cannot protect you from starvation wages? Freedom without economic power is a house with no foundation. It looks strong until the storm comes. I have learned through bitter experience that injustice is never isolated. Racial injustice, political injustice, economic injustice, they are threads of the same cloth. You pull one and the whole garment trembles. Let us be honest tonight. The ghetto is not an accident. The slum is not a mistake. Poverty is not the result of laziness. These conditions are produced, they are maintained, they are protected by systems that profit from despair. And while we debate manners, while we ask for patience, while we are told to wait for a better time, children go to bed hungry, mothers choose between rent and medicine, fathers work 2 jobs and still feel like failures. This is violence, not sudden, not spectacular, but relentless. I have been told that speaking this way is dangerous, that it is divisive, that it makes people uncomfortable. But my brothers and sisters, truth has never been safe, and justice has never been convenient. If I remain silent about economic injustice, I betray the very people for whom the movement was born. Nonviolence does not mean indifference. It does not mean acceptance of suffering. It does not mean telling the poor to endure quietly. Nonviolence is the refusal to respond to injustice with hatred, but it is also the refusal to accept injustice at all. We will not burn cities, but neither will we worship systems that burn human lives slowly. We will not strike with fist, but we will strike at conscience. We will strike at policy. We will strike at structures that deny men and women the fruits of their own labor. And so I say to you tonight, a nation that can spend billions on war, but cannot spend billions to lift its poor, is approaching spiritual death. A society that measures success by profit but ignores suffering is building its future on sand. Justice is not charity. Fair wages are not favors. Dignity is not a gift to be earned. It is a right to be honored. We must organize. We must educate. We must pressure systems that have grown comfortable with inequality. And we must do it not with bitterness, not with hatred, but with an unshakable insistence that every human life is worth more than the price assigned to it. Economic injustice is violence in slow motion, and tonight we choose to stop the clock. Thank you.